So I made 4 major claims talking about my proposition today. Teachers that are armed will increase the comfortability and safety in schools. Knowing teachers are armed serves as a deterrent to both students and people outside of school. And training required teaches school officials how to properly handle a crisis situation. My opponent has had a few things to say about it. I'm here to talk to you guys why this isn't actually true. My first claim that I made was that teachers that are armed with proper training increases the safety and comfortability of students. My opponent made the refutation that some people are actually very comfortable around guns while others are not. It is pretty suggestive to assume that students and parents think alike, or students and parents are okay with the teacher carrying a gun. The truth of the matter is, students aren't actually always thinking about guns. Back when I was a kid, I was more focused on my grades and coloring in a coloring book at the time. I wasn't really worried if my teacher had a handgun hidden underneath his desk to protect us. The fact is, parents are more of concern in this situation. A recent poll titled, "Parents Think Schools with Armed Guards Are Safer," it states that 62% of Americans with children of elementary or secondary school age would feel safer if their child attended a school with an armed official. 24% would feel safer where no adults were allowed, and 15% were not sure. Fact is, the parents are in charge of the kids. Kids have other things to worry about. The parents are more concerned about their children. The parents are more concerned with the safety of their child. The fact of the matter is, the majority of them are actually comfortable knowing that their child are safe, while the kids go off and do something else. My second claim was that knowing teachers are armed serves as a deterrent to students. The refutation made was that sometimes it's a motivator, not a deterrent. He made the claim that teachers are actually role models. Now, I know a lot of people out there haven't liked all of their teachers. All right, so I do find teachers as role models, but we've all had teachers out there that we're glad to get out of their class. The fact of the matter is, not all are. If teachers were such role models, why are they attacked as often as they are? A recent poll, or a recent study from an article titled "Student Attacks on Teachers Up 34.5%." I don't even have to read the article from that point on. It states 209,800 primary and secondary school teachers reported being physically attacked by a student during the 2011-2012 school year. According to new data released by the federal government, that was up 34.5% from the previous year. Students are getting more aggressive these days. They don't always find teachers as role models. That's pretty suggestive to make that claim. My third claim was that serves as a deterrent to people outside of school. The reputation made was that many of the school shooters are mentally ill. This is true. Up to 40% actually end up taking their own lives after the shooting takes place. This is irrelevant. It doesn't change the fact that it's still happening. In fact, the mental illness is not drastic enough or not effective enough to even get past the background checks. In the study titled "Mass Murders in Schools or How They Got Their Guns," in the 15 recent mass shootings, including at least 2 of the guns used in the San Bernardino attack, they were bought legally with a federal background check. Mental issues isn't effective enough to tackle this problem. You need other methods in order to tackle it. Mental illness is not a good enough excuse to blame it. My fourth claim was that the training required teaches school officials how to properly handle a crisis situation. They made multiple claims that the money used for the training should be placed towards other stuff, including security guards. Now, if I was put into a school with a bunch of security guards on every single level in every single classroom, I would feel pretty, I would get a little bit of anxiety there. In an article titled "Putting Armed Guards in School is the Wrong Answer," the increased presence of school police and security forces has also drastically changed learning environments for all students as their schools become less welcoming and more threatening. More police officers, more security guards with the badges and the uniforms, the more students are going to react. If teachers are armed and the armed gun is not or is hidden, students won't focus on it. Students can go back to their work. So summing up those 4 claims, the refutations made were not relevant enough or not effective enough to overthrow my claims.